Hey there, I hope you all are doing great. Now in this lecture series of forensic entomology, we will discuss about the limitations, the major drawbacks that a forensic entomologist encounter while dealing with the entomological evidences. We have already learned about the forensic significance of the uh, forensic entomology. In case you haven't watched the lecture, go check out the playlist. It's an absolutely amazing short and sweet lecture. And before we proceed with that, I would like to repeat that what actually forensic entomology is, because it's my duty to make sure that nothing is left behind. Okay, so study of insects and forensic means legal aspects. You have to deal with legal aspects definitely, and study of insect when merged with the criminal justice system gives rise to this forensic entomology thing. It will be of great help in order to solve the cases which are basically most of the time which involves death of the person, and in case of unidentified corpse as well. So major limitation, we all are aware that this field is still under research and there is a lack of proper education, information, and resources as well which are related to forensic entomology. So that is the root cause of why this field is still lagging behind. There are not enough number of research that have been done in this field, whereas there is no substitute for good data. And obviously the lack of well trained professionals is another reason for the major setback of forensic entomology. Due to the lack of enough study in order to provide the data which could help us to determine the drug concentration on the body of the corpse through the maggots, this field is again lagging behind. Now this is the case of forensic entomotoxicology. I have already told you in the previous lecture that forensic entomotoxicology deals with the toxicological examination, means examination of drug via maggots, via the insects that are found on the corpse. So that's something definitely and another topic, and I will make a separate lecture as I have promised you earlier. But there is a lack of study in this field as well. Now the second point talks about the lack of resources in case of the toxins that we are trying to figure out from the corpse. Now what happens is drug concentration unfortunately is not present in the pupa or in start stages, but drug is present in the case you are going to deal with the larva. You must know that larva comes before the pupa stage. So larva have that drug which it has consumed from the corpse, but unfortunately this drug is absent when we deal with the pupa. Now what happens is forensic entomotoxicologists are out of resources. So this is the main reason. This observation simply means that the medicines do not accumulate, and this would make you out of the resources in case you want to study the toxins. Fine, this is the another major drawback. Now the point that we have already discussed about numerous times since the beginning of this lecture, that forensic entomology still is in infant stage and there is lack of research and development, which is why it is an underdeveloped area. People are not much aware with it. They are not aware with the applications, with the usage of this field. So this is the major setback. People still don't know about the pharmacokinetics of the insect. Pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, these are the two terminologies. In case you don't know, let me explain this to you. Pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics deal with how your body reacts to that drug and what that drug does to your body after getting consumed. So we are still not aware with the nature of action of drug that takes place in insect. Forget about using it, forget about using the insect as evidence for the identification of drug. People are not even aware with what actually that drug does in the body of insect. So how can you even expect them to carry out the entire entomotoxicological examination? Okay, so another lacuna. Now one more, the type of insects, stage of development, and its eating habit. These all things often have a great impact on the drug that it must have consumed from the corpse, from the dead body. Every insect has different kind of metabolism, and things they eat differ. The environment in which they grow also differs. Now it also have a great impact on the body of the insect, and the drug which they have consumed from the dead body, from the corpse, the concentration of that drug, the amount of that drug would also get altered as the insect keeps on aging. From larva, from egg it will go to larva, and then pupa, then adult. All these stages would have a great impact on the concentration of drug. In cases of some insect, drug concentration might decrease with the increase of age of the insect. Okay, humidity, temperature, and other external factor would also act. Now the identification of drug concentration from this specimen in this field is a main concept. I have already explained this to you. Now let us have a look at next point. There is obviously a need for an accurate method of collection and definitely identification of method and of what, of maggots and necrophages that are present on the corpse, which is obviously another very challenging task. If you fail to collect it properly from the scene of crime or from the corpse, it might tamper your evidence, damage happen to your evidence, then entire analysis is going to be thrashed. You must keep this in mind. Hence, well professional qualified person is required to collect the entomological evidence. External environment definitely has a great impact on the insect that you are going to deal with, so that will be another challenge as well. Then certain treatment which are followed by the collection of the insect, be it freezing या फिर burials or wrapping of the corpse, it might affect the larvae that are found on the corpse. Okay, and it can act as a great hurdle for the entomotoxicological या फिर entomological examination as well. Now there is lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, lack of resources. Why? Because it is an emerging field, and local police personnel, they even fail to collect normal evidence with proper protocols. Now you can imagine that how negligent they are going to be when you talk about collecting the entomological evidence, because they are not aware with it. It is not their fault. The curriculum doesn't deal with the proper examination of entomological evidence. So basically there is a need to update the curriculum, to update the things, and the negligence might happen, and tampering of evidence could hamper the entire analysis or entomological or entomotoxicological analysis process as well. It would be definitely a difficult task for you to carry out the entire process. It is an emerging field, it is definitely in its infant stage, hence more and more knowledge is still needed to be required in this field. More research papers need to be published, more scholars should show interest in this area. Okay, thank you so much and keep studying.